I have in my hand the build sheet to my 2014 991.1 Carrera 4S. The spec looks a little different than what it looks like currently, but I'm gonna go over the entire build and kind of show you guys exactly what makes up the $134,000 MSRP. So hoping this video you guys kind of get the gist of when buying a fully depreciated 911, you can enjoy a lot of these higher end specs and higher end options, even though you didn't have to pay the brunt of that full MSRP. Because I paid a little over half of what the MSRP originally was, and I still get to enjoy all the perks. Don't have to worry really about depreciation, especially with 911s. That's something that, you know, being the last naturally aspirated Carreras, these have held value really, really well if you can buy them right. So the first, I guess, line of equipment on the options list is the 911 Carrera 4S itself. That was $105,630. That's the starting MSRP, what it would just cost for a base Carrera 4S. And I believe that's just base, like base, no PDK, no nothing. So it starts out like that. Okay, so second item on the list is the PDK, $4,080. So PDK dual clutch transmission. Porsche is known for their PDK. It's like the fastest dual clutch in the game. I think it's the best. Only probably, it'd be a close tie with Audi's dual clutch that they put in the Huracan and the R8. Second option is the Carrera S wheels. So that was a standard option on this car. So 20-inch Carrera S wheels, $0. I had these powder coated after. When I bought the car, they were silver. And then a part of that option is the colored crest. So getting that crest in color, the Porsche crest in color and not silver, is an option that's $185. So second option, I don't even know, this is a zero cost option, but I didn't even know it was an option. It's this luggage net in the passenger footwell. I don't know if it's for maybe like a purse, if you have like a wife or a wallet, which is kind of cool. Smoking package, $0. I think they just include that. Yeah, it's like a little ashtray, but I don't smoke cigarettes, so never gonna use that, especially wouldn't smoke in my Carrera 4S. This next option is probably one of my favorite parts of the spec, and that is the LED headlights, including Porsche Dynamic Light System Plus, so PDLS Plus. So that gives you LEDs. It's like the highest end lighting package, like the highest spec lighting package you can order on a 911. You see a lot of GT3 RSs, GT2 RSs with these, but whoever ordered my car decided to spec them out on his 4S, which I'm really appreciative of because really love it. In the daytime running lights, there's like 4, there's an LED in each corner. And then at night, it's kind of like a halo. Looks really good. Love that about the car. And forgot to mention that option is $3,110. So pretty hefty option, but worth it in my opinion. Coming to the rear of the car, $990 is park assist. So these little sensors, they detect, you know, how close you're getting stuff, which is really helpful in parking because these 991.1s didn't come standard with backup cameras. I think they started that in 2017, I believe. So not standard, but it helps at least a little bit. And we'll get in the 4S for this next one. Which is something that you really want to have if you buy a 991.1 with the 3.8. If you're going to buy a Carrera S, you have to get this option. And that's the Sport Chrono package. It gives you the option to have Sport Plus, which Sport Plus in this car, it makes it go from just a normal everyday Grand Tour to literally almost, it feels like almost a GT3 type vibe, especially with the exhaust I have. Super responsive. The shifts are held longer, so you can actually wind it out to $6 grand, $7 grand if you want. Full red line. It has like different shift points, and so yeah. And that option is $2,370. Next option, which I didn't even really know I had, or I'm not really sure how you can tell. The steering in this car feels great, but Power Steering Plus, $270. Not really sure what it does. I'm actually not too familiar with what the, I guess if you don't get Power Steering Plus, like maybe it's just a lighter feel or a better response. I don't know. This has electric power steering, which a lot of people hate on, but I mean, I'm not a professional driver. Feels just as good as any other hydraulic power steering that I've ever felt. Or if Porsche didn't want better steering and if they wanted to keep hydraulic, they would have kept it. But the 991, they brought in electric and they've kept it ever since. So also the sport design steering wheel that you see here with the paddles on the rear. And then it has a little light. So for Sport Plus, Sport Chrono, when you hit Sport Plus, it shows up right here. Same with Sport. That sport design steering wheel ran $490. So it's a little bit of an upgrade from the stock one, which has really weird paddles. They're like thumb paddles. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have seen one, but they're kind of weird. Next option is the two-tone leather interior. So they opted for black and Luxor beige. Wasn't super fond of the Luxor beige when I was looking at this car and went to go buy it. But it's grown on me a ton, and at least everything else is black, like the center console. Some of those Carreras that have all beige, it's just so much. See some Cayennes like that, it's just like, whoa. But luckily they went with the black dash, so it's not as like blinding. So it says the two-tone was a zero cost option, but then the leather interior and black Luxor beige. So I don't know if it's this colorway, this specific colorway, but the Luxor beige with the black two-tone, that option was $4,120. So pretty pricey interior here, and that's not even getting into the seats. I'll get to that next. Next option, back to the Sport Chrono. So getting that Sport Chrono dial in white is $500. And that goes hand in hand with the actual instrument dials themselves being in white. I kind of like it. It kind of pops, works well with the blue. But yeah, so he got Sport Chrono in white to match the dials. The dials in white ran $860, and then the Sport Chrono clock dial in white was the extra $500. So over $1,000 just to have your gauges white. Kind of crazy. Coming over here to the passenger seat, the next option, which was a pretty hefty option, $3,825. So it's got the adaptive sport seats plus 18-way with memory package. So some of these 911 seats you see, they don't have these like flares coming out of the sides. That really provides a lot more, you know, bolstering and a little bit more of a comfortable feel. This one has a sport seat, so a little bit more sport when you're hitting corners. Those seats, the adaptive Sport Plus seats, 18-way, so they have every adjustment you could ever want. I truly haven't even gone through a lot of these. I mean, it's almost overkill the amount of adjustments you can make. And then the memory package, you can link up to each key, which is kind of cool. So if like my wife wants to drive with her key, she gets in and it'll automatically go to her settings, so that's cool. And so for the next option, I'm not even sure what all this entails. It's the Premium Package Plus adaptive sport seats plus 18-way, so that's $2,330. I don't know what all that includes or how that changes the options or the seats, but that's something else they spec'd out on this car. So since we're right here, the next option that I really love about this car is the Bose audio. The Bose audio in this sounds absolutely insane. It's nice because I normally like to listen to the engine and the exhaust, but when you do want to have those drives where you just want to crank really loud music, this thing sounds amazing. It's probably the best sound system I've ever heard in a car that like from a factory. My C8 was a close second though. The C8 does a really good job. That also has Bose, so that option was $2,120, which is well worth it. You know, you want to have good music, loud music, sounds really crisp and clean, as you'd expect in a Porsche. So the next option here, they put a lot of money into these seats. So it was actually an option to get the rear seats wrapped in leather. So the sport seats plus backrest shells and leather. So this is all wrapped in Luxor beige leather. And then on the back here, a little bit of Alcantara down on the bottom. Like I said, a little overkill, crazy. But for 2014, I mean, these seats are just in amazing shape. They've held up great, like literally no wear. This driver's seat has a little bit of wear, but it's a 10-year-old car, so yeah. And by the way, that option was $1,870, which is kind of crazy just to have the rear seats wrapped in leather, but hey, I didn't have to bear the brunt of that, so it's kind of nice. And then the last option that costs anything is the Basalt Black. So the original color underneath, you can kind of see it in the sun a little bit. Kind of a sparkly black. It's not quite deep black, it's got some gold flake in it. Looks really good in the sun. At night it looks obviously black, but I have my car wrapped. Wrapped with the Nazatech Snow Blue. Just put a video up about how that wrap's holding up. I'll link that down below. Watch that video after this one if you guys want. So yeah, that's the last cost option. That was $710 just for the paint color. which is kind of crazy just because it's a pretty basic black, but obviously I opted for a little more of an exotic look. So yeah, that's literally it. And then the last option is ornamental Porsche crest, which is the Porsche crest. Getting that option, there's $0. I think you could just pick whether it was in color or not. And then the no sunroof. So a lot of these 991.1s, 4Ss, they come with a sunroof. They didn't opt for a sunroof on this car, which I don't mind. I like how there's a ton of Alcantara up in the inside, and I think it just looks awesome. It's nice to be around. Feels like a sports car should. So yeah guys, that is the full build of my 2014 911 Carrera 4S. Originally MSRP, total retail price $134,095. So a little more with tax, but I think the value you can get in fully depreciated, especially naturally aspirated 911s, is just insane. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, comment, leave a comment. I respond to all comments. Really appreciate it. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, all at Corsa Caleb. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you later.